Hi everyone, my name is Danny from Danny's Book Corner, and today, as you can tell, I have a little bit of different setup right now because actually currently I am sitting down in a chair, which I usually stand up when I do my videos. You see a little bit of this bookshelf like in some of my videos, but just not the whole thing. So now we can see the whole thing and then some of this shelf-ish. Not really, but we're gonna go with it because I just felt like sitting down today because I'm like, I'm kind of lazy. And also I see a lot of other YouTubers sit down for their videos, so I'm like, let's do that. And also my camera's like easier to reach for because it's within arm's length. Because, hello people, hi. So enough of me being weird and talking about how I'm sitting down instead of standing up. Let's get into this video. So today I'm going to be talking about the books that I plan to read this summer. And I have a lot of books right down there on the floor. I don't think I'm going to read them all, but we'll see what happens. So let's just get into this. I'm gonna divide this into like two sections. So the first section are books that are sequels or ones that I'm like have just taken a while to read. Like I'm kind of reading them-ish right now. Not really, but anyway. Let's start off with The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This is a contemporary that takes place like just, of course, over the summer. Like you can tell the cover is very, very summery. So it's a really, really good summer read. I planned to finish this at the end of last summer, but I didn't because it is a pretty long book. And but I'm almost done with it. I have like 100-ish pages left. So I really plan to finish this very, very shortly. Maybe I can finish on the beach or something, or like by the pool. So it's about this girl whose dad is a politician, and so he loses his job because of some sort of like scandal thing. So instead of going to this college for this thing over the summer, she has to take up a job as a dog walker. So it follows all of her adventures with her friends over the summer, and it's just a really good summer read, and it's Morgan Matson, so it's nice. The next book I plan to read is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer because I finished Cinder, and I really like Cinder, so I should continue on with Scarlet. And I won't really say what this is about because spoilers, and I don't want spoilers on this video. Basically, with Cinder, it follows a girl who is a cyborg and navigating her way through a world where cyborgs are discriminated against, and how she is trying to save her sister because of this plague that is going around, and her sister contracts the plague and she's trying to save her and all that stuff. So I really want to get to the next one. The next book that I would like to read over the summer is The Rose Society by Marie Lu. This is the second book in the Young Elites trilogy. I read the Young Elites, like, I think it's in my best books of 2015 video, if I'm not mistaken. I've had this book for a while and I wanted to read it, so I should probably get on that. So basically this book follows a girl named Adelina who is a Malfetto. She's called that because there was this disease/plague that went wrong in this world, and people either died from it, or if they survived, they had like a bunch of disfigurings and stuff like that. And so Adelina survived this disease and has a bunch of disfigurings, so she follows a bunch of people that are like her that have actually some special abilities called the Young Elites. So this is more of her adventures, and actually got quite dark, and I think this one might get a little bit darker, so we'll see how this goes. I'm excited. Another book that I hope to read this summer is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. This is the second book in the Red Rising trilogy, the sequel to Red Rising. Red Rising follows the story of a boy named Darrow who's about like 17, 18 years old or something like that, and he is a red, and in this society reds are the lowest people on the social ladder, but then he ends up transforming into a gold physically and intellectually and all that stuff because he's going to compete in this competition to be like the best gold and just to figure out how the gold society works because his wife is killed because of this society. So he's trying to it's like revenge, and it's so good. There's like so much political intrigue, and I want to see what happens next. So the next books I'm going to mention, I haven't really started reading them yet. I just books that I would like to read. So the first one of those is My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I just feel like this is a really good summary that I can read on the beach. It's a contemporary. It should be lighthearted. I'm not really sure exactly what it's about, although you can kind of infer from the title that it involves a girl and a boy who live next door to each other, I'd assume, and things escalate. Probably a romance little thing happens. Also, I would like to read Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I am really, really late to this train. Like, this was on BookTube when I first started BookTube, which was, what, maybe 2 years ago or something. This was on it a lot still. But I really, really want to read this book because one of my friends said she read it, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I really need to get on this. It takes place in the future, so there's like this game that people go into to escape reality, like a virtual reality kind of game thing. So there's like a hack. I heard there's a lot of like 80s kind of things in this. So I'm excited to read this because I've heard so many good things about this book. So the next two books that I would like to read are Passenger and Wayfarer, both by Alexandra Bracken. Okay, I'm gonna put this one down because I can't hold both of these books up at the same time. I basically heard is like a time travel and like ships and pirates and stuff like that, and it sounds really cool, and I've heard so many good things about this book. And I got Wayfarer because I won it in like a Bookstagram giveaway, and I'm like, okay, I should probably read Passenger. Have I read Passenger yet? No. So I'm planning to read both of the books in this duology this summer. Another book that I plan to read this summer is Tripping Back Blue by Cara Storti. I got this book almost a year ago, which is really sad that I haven't read this yet. But I met this author and everything, and I told her I really wanted to read her book because it sounded so interesting. And then, have I read it? No, I haven't read it yet. That's really bad of me. Like, I am so bad at buying books and not reading them. Why do I do this? Like, I feel like so many booktubers and bookstagrammers and just people that read books are so guilty of this. Anyway, this book is about a boy who, like, there's this drug or something. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's some sort of drug that when you take it, it brings you back to your happiest memory, and when you come back from it, you get like keepsake from that memory. Say for example, your best favorite memory is from the beach. If you came back, you would have like sand in your pocket or like a shell or something like that. So it's a really cool concept. This drug is like on the black market kind of thing, so he ends up being like a drug dealer and stuff like that. His mom, I think, has a big role in helping him throughout like his struggles and stuff. So it sounds like a really good book, and there's a lot of elements in it that I like because it sounds like a realistic fantasy kind of thing going on. I don't know if that's right to really call this book that, but that's what I'm gonna go with. So it sounds really interesting, and I haven't really seen this book at all on BookTube. Also, this author is pretty local to me, so that's why she came down to where I am. And so yeah, so that was really cool to meet her, and I really want to read her book, give it a good proper review and all that stuff. So I figure the summer is the time to do that. I would also like to get to Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, because I have heard pretty much nothing but good things about this book and the second book, which I do not have. I believe this book follows a group of like convicts and thieves, and they're trying to be almost like Robin Hood kind of thing, and it takes place in the same world as Leigh Bardugo's other series, Shadow and Bone, although also known as the Grisha trilogy. So it takes place in the same world, although I've heard a lot of people like this better than the Grisha trilogy, or there's some people that like them about the same, but like I really want to read it because I've heard nothing but good things. I'd also like to read Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rask. I probably really butchered that, so someone please correct me in the comments because I have no idea how to pronounce her name correctly, and I really would like to pronounce her name correct. So my friend really loves this series. Scratch that, I think it's a trilogy. This is one of her favorite trilogies, and I think she recommended it to me. So it's basically about this world where there's like a bunch of different kingdoms, like based on like weather. Like there's a winter kingdom and like a summer kingdom, and I believe this follows the winter kingdom has like kind of taken over. Like, there's a bunch of kingdom fighting in this thing, and it sounds really cool, and my friend really likes it, and I trust her suggestions. So I want to get to this. I would also love to read I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. I got this book a long time ago. I think I got this book around after Malala had spoken to the UN around that time. And I really want to read it because I want insight into her, and I really respect her for what she's done. She's just a very inspiring young woman. I guess this is a memoir slash biography slash autobiography. I'm not sure. I really want to read her perspective. And the last book that I really want to get to this summer is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. I really like Rick Riordan's writing and his other series, particularly the Percy Jackson series and the Heroes of Olympus series, but I haven't read any of his other series that don't like correlate to Percy Jackson. So this will be the first one that I would read that's not Greek slash Roman mythology. This is Norse mythology. And the only thing I really know about Norse mythology is like Thor and Odin because of the movie Thor and Thor as the Marvel character. I just really like how Rick gives a little bit more insight into the Greek, the Roman, the Norse, and the Egyptian like mythologies, because I like how he personifies the gods and all that stuff. So I just really want to read this because I really want to read more Rick Riordan. And that, guys, are all the books that I plan to read this summer, and please someone hold me accountable if I don't read all these books by the end of the summer. Like, if I post my summer reading wrap-up, if most of these books are not on it, someone hold me accountable in the comments of that upcoming video, okay? So anyway, if you guys really enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up to let me know. And if you want to see more content from me, please subscribe so you are notified when I post a new video. And I guess I'll just see you guys all later. Bye!